Kanye West. A name that stirs up a storm of emotions. But who is he really? A genius or a madman? This question troubles many. His journey began in Chicago, where he was raised under the wing of his mother, an English teacher. From a young age, Kanye showed an interest in music, dreaming of changing the world of hip-hop. And he succeeded. In 2004, he released his debut album The College Dropout, which revolutionized the perception of rap by adding melody and deep lyrics. But success in music was just the beginning. Kanye aspired for more. He burst into the fashion world, creating the Yeezy brand, which became a symbol of style and luxury. His collaboration with Adidas brought iconic sneaker models to mass culture, which millions sought after. However, fame and recognition had their downside. Kanye's extravagant actions and loud statements often became topics of discussion. This became especially evident in the last few years. His statements about his own greatness and comparing himself to God caused bewilderment and criticism. In 2020, he announced his intention to run for president of the United States, which many perceived as another publicity stunt. West's personal life is also full of drama. His marriage to Kim Kardashian, their 4 children, and subsequent divorce became hot topics for tabloids. Public spats, emotional outbursts, and revelations about mental health. Kanye only fueled the interest in his persona. So who is he? A genius musician, an innovator, or a man who has lost touch with reality? The answer to this question remains open. But one thing is certain. Kanye West is a figure that leaves no one indifferent. A guy from Chicago, how did it all begin? Kanye West was born in Atlanta, Georgia, in 1977. His father, Ray West, was one of the first African-American photojournalists at the Atlanta Journal-Constitution and was a member of the Black Panther Party. His mother, Donda West, taught English at Clark Atlanta University and held the academic title of professor. When Kanye was 3 years old, his parents divorced, and he moved to Chicago with his mother. In Chicago, Donda headed the philology department at a local university. Kanye grew up in an intellectual environment, surrounded by books and culture. From an early age, he showed an interest in art and music. At the age of 5, he began writing poetry, and by 3rd grade, he was already composing his own songs. In his teenage years, West became interested in hip-hop and started creating his own beats. He collaborated with local artists, gradually earning a reputation as a talented producer. At 19, Kanye dropped out of college to fully dedicate himself to music. His persistence and talent caught the attention of major artists. In the late 90s, he began working with Jay-Z, which became a turning point in his career. Kanye produced several tracks for the album The Blueprint, which is considered a hip-hop classic. However, West did not want to remain solely a producer. He aspired to a solo career. In 2004, he released his debut album The College Dropout, which received critical acclaim and commercial success. This album marked the beginning of his journey as an independent artist and established him as an innovator in the music world. The first scandals. Kanye West's name quickly became surrounded by an aura of scandal. One of the rapper's earliest and most memorable antics occurred at the MTV Video Music Awards in 2009. At that time, young Taylor Swift received the award for Best Female Video. She was standing on stage holding the statuette when suddenly Kanye walked up on stage, grabbed the microphone, and declared that he thought Beyoncé deserved the award. This act shocked the audience and marked the beginning of a long-standing conflict with Taylor. But that was just the first warning sign. In 2013, in an interview with the New York Times, Kanye stated that he did not regret his actions at the VMAs. He emphasized that he would always express his opinion, regardless of the consequences. His eccentric behavior continued to attract attention. In 2020, during his presidential campaign, Kanye declared that God had called him to run for president of the United States. He also claimed that Harriet Tubman, the well-known abolitionist, did not actually free the slaves, but simply made them work for other white people. These statements sparked a wave of criticism and doubts about his mental health. I am a visionary. Fashion, money, ambition. Kanye has also achieved considerable success in design. It all started in 2005 when he made his first attempt to create his own clothing brand called Pastel. However, despite the developed samples of bombers and hoodies, the collection was never officially presented to the public. In 2009, Kanye interned at the Italian fashion house Fendi, where he learned the basics of the fashion business. This experience helped him in his future collaborations with brands. In 2013, he began collaborating with Adidas, which led to the creation of the Yeezy line. In 2015, he presented the first collaborative collection with Adidas, Yeezy Season 1. This clothing line received positive reviews from critics, and the Yeezy Boost 750 sneakers sold out within 10 minutes of release. One of the most striking models was the Yeezy Boost 350 V2 Beluga Reflective. These sneakers, released in an updated version, combined a recognizable design with the addition of reflective elements, which successfully attracted the attention of both fans and collectors. Another notable model was the Yeezy Phone Runner Mineral Blue. Their futuristic design and use of innovative materials made them popular among fans of unconventional footwear. However, the design activities did not come without problems. In 2022, the company Adidas terminated its contract with West due to his anti-Semitic remarks. This decision led to legal disputes, which concluded in 2024 with a settlement agreement. In the same 2024, Kanye invited Russian designer Gosha Rubchinsky to the position of creative director at YZY. The collaboration led to the creation of unique collections that combined Western and Eastern European aesthetic elements. However, in February 2025, Rubchinsky announced the end of his collaboration with the brand amid West's controversial statements. Kanye continued to provoke the public into debates and heated discussions. It seems that he is always ready to shock, regardless of the scale of his actions. But as in each of our lives, there are moments when we need to seek help. When the situation gets out of control. And in such situations, it's important to know where to go, whom to turn to protect your rights. If, for example, you get into a car accident in America and don't know what to do next, the accident company America will help you find the right solution. They can help you get compensation, even if you don't have insurance. The accident company America has already helped its clients receive over $21 million in compensation. If you need professional advice and assistance, don't wait. Click the link in the description. The first painful falls of Kanye West and Kim Kardashian are a couple whose names were synonymous with glamour and success. However, their marriage, which began in 2014, ended in divorce in 2021. The reasons for their separation were multifaceted. Kim noted that she strives for her own happiness and wants to live in harmony with herself. On the other hand, Kanye pointed to the negative influence of pornography and social media on their relationship, calling Hollywood a giant brothel. Mental health. Kanye's mental health also played a significant role in the breakup with Kim. In 2016, he was diagnosed with bipolar disorder, which led to his emotional instability and impulsive actions. This created tension in the family, and Kim and Kanye's scandals increasingly became public knowledge. At the same time, Kim often publicly supported her husband, calling for understanding and compassion. She noted that Kanye's condition is part of his genius. Unstable condition. Kanye caused concern among specialists, who noted that without proper help, he could become dangerous to those around him. Kanye's religious rebirth. During a period of personal and professional trials, Kanye turned to religion as a source of renewal. In October 2019, he released the album Jesus is King, which became a reflection of his spiritual journey. This work differed from the artist's previous releases. It was dominated by gospel motifs and lyrics dedicated to Christian themes. Critics and listeners received the album ambiguously, noting its religious focus and departure from Kanye's usual style. In parallel with the album release, Kanye initiated a project called Sunday Service. This gospel choir performed church hymns and reworked versions of West songs. All of this was performed like a church service. The project started in early 2019 and quickly attracted attention due to its uniqueness and profound spiritual atmosphere. Interestingly, Kanye invested significant funds into the development of Sunday Service, spending around $50 million to support the choir and organize events. However, questions arose about whether this transformation of Kanye was genuine or just another way to attract attention. Some critics believe that the religious turn in West's work was an attempt to create hype and establish a new image Others saw it as a sincere pursuit of spiritual renewal and a search for meaning. What do you think about this period in Kanye's life? Kanye's radicalization. In October 2022, Kanye found himself at the center of a major scandal. His anti-Semitic remarks on social media sparked a wave of outrage. In response, Adidas announced the immediate termination of its partnership with the artist, halting the production of Yeezy-branded products. According to the company's estimates, this move resulted in a loss of approximately $250 million in profits that year. Additionally, the contract termination with Adidas significantly reduced West's wealth, stripping him of his billionaire status. However, Adidas was not the only company to end its partnership with Kanye. Many brands and partners distanced themselves from him, condemning his statement. The scandal also affected his political connections. West is known for his friendship with U.S. President Donald Trump. In December 2016, they met at Trump Tower in New York, where they discussed various issues. Kanye even expressed his intention to run for president of the United States, which caused a wide public reaction. However, after West's controversial statements, their relationship was put to the test. In November 2022, Trump hosted West and well-known Holocaust denier Nick Fuentes at his estate, which sparked a storm of criticism in the media. These events cast doubt on the sincerity of Kanye's political ambitions and his relationships with former allies. Ultimately, West's radical statements and actions led to serious consequences in his career and personal life. He lost multi-million-dollar contracts, support from business partners, and the public. This period became one of the most controversial in the artist's biography, prompting many to ponder the line between freedom of speech and responsibility for one's words and actions. A new wife. New problems. In January 2023, the world was stunned by unexpected news. Kanye West married Bianca Censori, a designer from his company Yeezy. Their union, like a flash of lightning, drew intense attention. The reason was not only the suddenness of the wedding but also their flamboyant behavior, which immediately became the subject of heated discussions. Bianca, with her bold and provocative style, has often shocked the public with her revealing outfits. But at the Grammy ceremony in 2025, she outdid herself by appearing in a completely transparent dress. The reaction was swift. Outrage, tabloid headlines, and then their quick removal from the event by security. But behind the glamour and provocations lay much more complex relationships. According to insiders, Bianca didn't always support the radical views Kanye on her appearance, but she was forced to comply with his demands. The further it went, the more he dictated to her how to dress, how to behave, what role to play in their public life. Bianca herself seemed to feel increasingly constrained within these confines. Meanwhile, Kanye continued to destroy the remnants of his reputation. His statements, openly anti-Semitic and politically provocative, became increasingly shocking. He released clothing with Nazi symbols, rejected any criticism, and alienated even his most devoted fans. In February 2025, alarming rumors appeared in the media. Bianca was tired of the endless scandals and decided to break off the relationship. However, the couple's representatives immediately denied this information, stating that they were preparing to celebrate Valentine's Day together. But new details emerged almost immediately. The media claimed that the couple had been living separately for a long time, and Kanye was seriously considering moving to Tokyo. All of this only heightened the suspicion that the marriage was falling apart before everyone's eyes. And if this is the end, will it be a quiet one? Or will Kanye turn the breakup into another loud spectacle? Nazism and anti-Semitism in Kanye's work. In March 2025, the rapper is once again at the center of a scandal. Although, it seems like this is now a usual state for Kanye. His statements are becoming increasingly shocking. He openly supports Nazis, denies the Holocaust, and claims that he was misdiagnosed with bipolar disorder. Now he claims to suffer from autism, but even that doesn't excuse him. New antics. In March 2025, Kanye releases several songs. In one of them, his daughter's voice is featured. Another features rapper P. Diddy, who is currently in prison on charges of human trafficking and rape. But the most shocking part is the lyrics. In a verse, Kanye compares himself to Hitler, claiming that he is just like the Führer. In the verse, he rhymes the word Hitler with racist slurs. The cover of the new album is a red swastika on a black background. You'd think this would be the limit. But soon Kanye posts a link to a speech by Adolf Hitler. Just provoking isn't enough for him. He wants people to hear Nazi propaganda. Social media reacts instantly. Posts are deleted and accounts are blocked. But West doesn't care. He thanks Elon Musk for buying Twitter because he's been blocked on other social networks. The reaction to his antics is swift. Kim Kardashian immediately tried to legally prevent the release of a song featuring their daughter's voice. But Kanye posts their conversation online. He writes that he's starting a war. How will this story end? It's still unknown. But one thing is certain. Kanye West is no longer just a provocative star. He has crossed a line into something truly frightening. Kanye, whom no one can understand. Our protagonist today is a figure that raises more questions than answers. His actions, like a shockwave, spread across the world, provoking discussions, shocking the public, and dividing it into two camps. For some, he is a genius, a man who has broken established boundaries and dictates the rules of pop culture. For others, he is a destroyer, who has crossed the line of what is permissible and plays with themes that carry too heavy a historical burden. His antics are becoming increasingly audacious. Appearing in a shirt with a swastika, showcasing a bag with portraits of Barack and Michelle Obama, statements that cannot be justified. It seems there is no line he is not willing to cross. But why? Is this a conscious challenge to the system or another act of self-destruction? Anti-Semitic statements, blatant praise of Nazi symbolism, hints that historical facts do not matter to him. All of this is not just for shock value. It's something more, which evokes not only condemnation but also fear. His personal life remains no less tumultuous. There are more and more rumors about a divorce from Bianca Censori after 2 years of marriage. A breakup or just another part of his strange game. And Kim Kardashian? Their relationship has long surpassed personal drama and turned into a constant conflict that unfolds in front of the whole world. Legal battles, disputes over children, leaks of personal correspondence. Kanye seems unable to exist outside of chaos. And yet he doesn't disappear from the industry. A new album, more provocations, ambiguous statements. Every action he takes is accompanied by a new batch of controversies. Every new day with his name in the headlines is another challenge to society. Where is the limit? Is there anything at all that can stop him? Kanye West remains one of the most unpredictable figures of our time. He doesn't care what people think of him. He lives by his own rules. But how far is he willing to go? And most importantly, what will happen next? There is no answer to this question. For now.